Hey everybody, it's Rob from Flailthroughs. This is Gundam Battle Operation, but I thought I'd talk for a few minutes about Gundam Build Fighters, which ended recently. I thought that turned out really well. I have not watched a Gundam series all the way through since Gundam Seed Destiny, which, I watched a fair bit of Double O, like 2 episodes of Age. And for whatever reason, Gundam UC just hasn't done it for me. I think because some of the things I've read about why the original Gundam character designer Yoshikazu Yasuhiko basically left the project, in that he did not really want to endorse its worldview as a member of the original Gundam creative team. But Build Fighters doesn't have any problems like that because Build Fighters is just fun. And it's not really trying to change the world or make a profound artistic statement, which is a nice change. It really is. The one thing that I did think was kind of funny is that there will be some spoilers through here, so be warned. The final boss of Build Fighters is essentially a shifty toy company executive whose greed is ruining Gundam for everyone. That's not quite as gutsy as the villain in Iron Man telling Tony Stark, "What, you think you own something just because you created it?" But it's up there. Because if you look at the history of Marvel Comics, yeah, it takes some balls to say something like that in a Marvel movie. But yeah, Build Fighters basically takes all the fun part of Gundam, the nice animation with the mobile suit battles, and strips out all the heavy parts, which at this stage in my life is just perfect. At the moment, Kamen Rider Gaim is the heaviest thing I can deal with, and it can be pretty heavy at times, but it's just so good. Really, really enjoying that series, and I recommend it to everybody. But, I hope the solicitation for Rambaral's Space Goof was not an April Fool's joke, because I kind of wouldn't mind having one of those. One of the reasons I wanted the MS in Action Goof Ignited was the fact that it is a Space Goof. But also the fact that that is just an excellent action figure while I'm rambling and talking about things that are only tangentially related to Gundam Build Fighters. But I really like the series. I think that has some potential to bring over here. What I'd really like to see, if they did, is, in addition to model kits, a new action figure line along the lines of something like the superhero mashers that Hasbro does right now with Marvel. It's kind of the descent of Zevaz if you are really, getting into the deep muddy of toy collecting. But the point is they have limbs and parts and things that can be switched out between figures, and I think, as a gimmick, they could probably do that and keep the costs down and make not what it was like before, and I loved what it was like before, but make something that could do well for them and could get a foothold for Gundam in the US again. It's really kind of a shame what happened with Gundam in the US. It was, it was going pretty well. It was a big risk, even though Bandai Japan, of course, did not see it that way. It was a big risk to do first Gundam immediately after the success of Gundam Wing. And even if 9/11 had not intervened, because for those of you who don't know, that is what killed first Gundam in the US, since Cartoon Network was using bumpers where Zeon flies a space colony into, I think, Australia, they decided to just kind of give up on it there and then. They showed like one more episode a few days later, and then that was it for first Gundam. So next year was G, and that did fairly well, and then they tried to do Zeta, which it was not the time in the United States to be doing a story about people rebelling against an overzealous fascist government trying to prevent terrorism. Probably still isn't, but I think it would go over better now than it did 10 years ago. But that always just broke my heart, though, because there was a whole Zeta Gundam toy line ready to go, and bits of it showed up in the Japanese line, but most of it is just gone forever. And, unproduced toys are always a heartbreaker, because there might be one out there for photographic samples and so on, and some enterprising collector may have a hold of it, but otherwise it's just, you're never going to see it. somewhere out there, there's one MS in Action Gundam, Gundam Astray Gold frame. There is one Gundam Mark III, I think it is. A whole bunch of fun stuff that Bandai solicited and never came out. But, such was the fate of Gundam in the United States last time. Sci-Fi Channel did Double O, and I don't know how it did for them, but that little Bandai Renaissance on Sci-Fi Channel was really nice too. Gurren Lagann, Gundam Double O, all that. That was a nice thing, and it's a shame it didn't last either. Anime is kind of on the wane here. In as much as it sticks around, it's the things that have gone fully mainstream. Dragon Ball is about to come back as Dragon Ball Kai again. Pokemon persists. Digimon is apparently running again. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Is eternal as long as the cards keep selling. But I'm supposed to be talking about Gundam Build Fighters, or possibly Gundam Battle Operation. Let's call this my April Fool's prank, if nothing else. But, like I said, Build Fighters was fun. I liked the little... I liked the episode, like the, downtime episode with every cameo in the world. Gunplot Eve, I think it was episode 22, 23. One of the last three. And that was fun. And, someone suggested that the Build Fighters world was Gundam Valhalla, but it occurs to me that if you are in a world where it is clear to you that all your suffering in a previous life was for the sole purpose of selling model kits, that doesn't sound like heaven to me at all. But, they all seem to be relatively happy and not dead, which, for Gundam characters is an accomplishment and a half, so what can you say? I like the series. It accomplished its goal in that I would not mind getting more Gundam models. That real grade GP01 last year that I thought had a code in it but didn't, that was a nice kit. And it's nice to see sometimes what Bandai can really do when they put their minds to it. Bandai America just, between safety regulations and the price of getting things on the shelves, they cannot bring their A game. Bandai Japan, oh man. If you like Power Rangers Super Megaforce or Gokaiger, which is the show it's based on, check out the SH Figuarts figures for that, because I have a couple and they are amazing. They are great. Robot Damashi I've just never been able to get into because they kind of skewed MSIA more towards collectibles. Plus they changed the scale, which I hate that. I hate that so much. But since I haven't actually decided which round of Battle Operation I'm going to append this to yet, I think that will have to do it for now. Hope everybody's having a good time, enjoying the game, and until next time, everybody take care and have fun. Later!